До встречи, спасибо.
Привет.
Тед, я не знала, что у тебя сегодня сеанс.
Ну, не плановый. Я подумал, может, у нее найдется время. Я мог бы поговорить с ней.
Правда?
Да, если только...
No. I think it's wonderful that you want extra counseling. I mean, it gives me hope about things that I haven't felt in a long time.
Things, you mean us, right?
Right, us.
You know, I've been in therapy for, I think, a week now.
I know that.
And the only thing that I find very clear to my mind right now is that it's not going to be easy for us to get back to where we were before all this happened. What I mean is I've stopped expecting miracles.
Listen, if you can tear yourself away from that sleazy novel, would you mind sorting this stuff out and sending it back to whoever belongs to Irene or whoever?
Should be no problem. My, it is a mixed bag, isn't it? Ooh, remembrances of things past. What did you do, eat the poor girl alive?
I deny everything.
You have had a long parade of secretaries, haven't you? Well, most of them have been kind of tacky and dowdy, haven't they?
No. Lena was sleek.
Well, maybe...
She was...
Maybe high-tack. Not like me. Of course, you can't expect them all to be as charming as I am. I mean, you shouldn't expect it, and I don't expect it.
Well, hey, look, why don't you relieve me of all these endearing charms?
Well, charm aside, that still leaves my poise and sophistication. And, of course, there's always my ability to draw men like blood draws sharks.
You have a low opinion of yourself, don't you?
What can I do against the opinion of so many others?
Flowers! Somebody gave you flowers. Who was it?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to read the card yet. Shall we read it together?
Let's
see here. Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh, fondly. Alex, who could this poor chump be? I mean, it's the new kid in town. How naive can you be?
Well, he is new in town, but I would hardly call a world-renowned scientist naive.
Oh, no, not our front runner to the Nobel Prize. Oh, that smile! Well, that's like Jaws revisited. Does this guy know what to expect? Oh, yes. Yes. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the world.
I'm sorry.
That's the second time today. You didn't do this much damage the first day you came to work for me.
I know, I'm just not with it this afternoon. Must be spring fever or something.
Well, I think it's a little more than that. Think you'd miss your old lab partner.
It's got nothing to do with Kelly. I told you I was no lab technician when I first started here. Now, you knew that, but you still wanted me around for your own reasons, so there's no reason for complaints. Now, I'll pay for the damage if you like.
No, you don't need to do that. And I'm not complaining, Jeffrey. But I do think you've been here a little too long. I think it's time for you to move on.
I do not understand the artistic temperament. What are you doing?
Betty, I'm trying to get a new idea for this room. I mean, it's about time it was redecorated, don't you think?
What I think is that you're at loose ends is what I think.
Yes, I am. I told you that. Betty, I need a job. I need something worthwhile to do with my life.
That's not what's really bothering you.
What do you mean?
I mean, what's really bothering you is Jeffrey Conrad. That's what you're thinking about.
Well, the gardening lady's at us again. How's all your Christina's doing?
I just love taking care of the plants. You know, I should have been born in a forest where I could have talked to the animals and fed the trees.
No, that's a quaint picture. I just can't see any self-respecting animal that give you the time of day. But listen, if you're into growing, why don't you tend to what I got growing here?
You know, Keith, sometimes you are beneath contempt.
I can't stand being ignored. Did you notice that?
Not really.
Oh, come on. What's with you? You retuned all your dials. You only respond to scientific genius.
Maybe my antenna has just become a little more educated, Keith. We all want to move up in the world, don't we? You fellas?
No, au contraire. I think you're on the spore of a very good catch. I mean, even an egghead needs a roll in the hay.
Oh, is that what you think this is all about? Well, I'll have you know that Dr. Nicholas is a gentleman, and he has invited me to a very proper luncheon date.
Luncheon? Luncheon? Whatever happened to lunch? Luncheon.
And he's not going to be taking me to some crummy cafeteria. No, that is something that you would pull. And he's not going to ask me to go to a motel with him afterwards.
Well, just all the same, I'd make sure he keeps his hands above the table.
The problem with you is you judge everybody else by yourself. This is nothing tawdry.
Well, listen, I hope it turns out the way you think. But while you're putting champagne all over the ketchup that you put on your caviar, I would like you to mention my name rather loudly, okay? You know what I mean? Say what a brilliant legal mind I have, how I can take care of people, persuade people. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the standard hard sell here.
Why would I want to do something like that?
Well, you see, it's just, If Big Al, you mind if I call him Al? If Al's invention does turn out to be all it's cracked up to be, you see, if it is, then he's gonna be a very rich man, and he's gonna have all the problems that attend rich men. He's gonna have lawsuits, legal entanglements. He's probably gonna need a lawyer, a great lawyer. He'll need like a whole team of
Great lawyers.
great lawyers.
I thought you weren't even very impressed with his vaccine. And now all of a sudden you want to be his lawyer? I thought being DA was the height of your ambition.
Well, it was, but you know, I don't know. I get bored with it. The thing that really attracted me to this in the first place was that I could cheat and lie my way into office. Now I've done it. I'm not going to move up. I'm not going to get paid anymore. I'm bored. I don't want to buy clothes off the rack anymore.
More like off the wall, Keith.
So I think between the two of us together, we can help my career. Maybe push off a private legal practice.
Oh, I don't think so. No. You're not going to slither into my new Garden of Eden. Forget about it. See you after my lunch.
Listen, fine, you go ahead and you do that, but please make sure you tell me if you drop the motel key before or after dessert.
Keith, didn't you hear me? I told you this is strictly a social invitation.
Right, listen, I didn't mean anything by it. You look terrific. You look great, no matter what anybody says.
What's wrong with the way I look?
It's just, you're overdressed. You're over perfume. You're over everything floozy. Listen, I don't want you to have to stretch to do this, but I mean, if you really want to make a good impression on this Dr. Nicholas, I'd try something else because unless you, of course, you want him to like have a little, roll in a seedy motel and then kick you out of bed, but...
You think I'm not dressed right?
An understatement. I think that the entire lunch Dr. Nicholas will spend with a napkin over his head.
Ну, возможно, это слишком.
Слишком, да. И в обмен на мой добрый совет, я хочу, чтобы ты замолвила за меня словечко, ладно? А если ты этого не сделаешь, мне придется кое-что рассказать о тебе доктору Николасу.
I have some good news for you.
Well, you make it sound like something serious.
I'm afraid it is.
Gus? What?
Oh, it's nothing bad, exactly. I heard from my old trainer this morning. He's retiring, and he wants me to come manage his gym for him. That's right. It's the kind of break I've always been looking for. I'll be able to get back into something I've always loved. Boxing.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Why aren't you happy about it?
Well, there's a catch. The gym is in Chicago.
I'd rather not talk about Jeffrey with you, Daddy. I know how you feel about him.
Nothing even matters, darling, is what I feel about you. What's good or bad for you?
Well, I think I'm a better judge of that than you are.
Yes, I know, sweetheart. You always were, from the age 6 or 7. Look, sweetheart, I know how you feel about Jeffrey. But you have to realize you have to get over it. Baby, I don't want to complicate things, but he has come out and said he is an enemy of this family. Look what he did to Mason. It's unforgivable. Anyone that could do that is no good.
Are you through, Daddy?
Look, baby, anyone that strikes out against my family, I will strike out first before they hurt us You understand?
Daddy, Jeffrey helped me. He saved Mason's life. Do you remember that?
I also know what he said about Mason. That's important to me. Now, I may be wrong, but that's the way I feel about it. And I'll tell you something else. While you were working in that lab with him, you could have been nosing around trying to find out what he's doing instead of mooning over him.
Well, Daddy, it's okay. In a way, I think you're right.
Let me get this straight. Are you firing me?
Hardly. I just think it's time to take the next step. You're going onward and upward, Jeffrey.
I see. This is all part of your plan, isn't it? Your grand design to do in Sisi Capwell.
Oh, wait, if I recall correctly, there's... I'm not the only one who has a score to settle.
Well, I think it's time we got a little more specific. Exactly what do you have in mind?
Jeffrey, the only reprisal Sisi has to fear from me is of a business nature. If I were to ruin him, it would be purely financial. What?
My instinct tells me it's a little more personal than that. If you were in love with my mother and Sisi took her away from you, I think you're after more than just his money. All right?
I think you're exaggerating. I mean, Sisi may be reprehensible. I've known that for years. During that time, I've dedicated myself to saving lives, not destroying them. The impulse towards being total bloody revenge. I mean, that's not my nature, Jeffrey. I think perhaps that hot, violent feeling is more province of youth. Isn't that more what you may feel right now? Aren't you the one still angry enough and still impulsive enough to be dangerous if provoked?
So when did this gym opportunity come up, Gus?
I got a call last week. I didn't want to say anything until I had a chance to think it through. I was supposed to give him my answer today.
But if you're moving to Chicago...
I hate to leave Alice.
Well, she's been accepted in college here. She's happy. I'm nearby.
I lost her once. I'm not going to let that happen again.
Ted, you're not saying anything.
I don't know what to say. I don't know where we're going with all these questions. I mean, why do we have to waste our time talking about all this stuff that has nothing to do with what happened to Haley?
Because there seems to be other problems that are affecting your relationship with her. Listen, do you think that moving out of that apartment that you two shared has anything to do with it?
I don't know. It's complicated. There are a lot of reasons why we moved out.
Well, can you give me some examples?
Well, it was right after Haley and I got married. It was right after my dad married Haley's aunt.
So, did you feel you should become part of the family unit?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I kind of like blocked all this stuff out of my mind. At the house, at that time, it was like an armed camp over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it seems odd that you and Haley would voluntarily move in there to live. Did Haley want to move?
No, not really.
Then obviously it was something that you wanted.
No.
Well, then I don't understand.
It was my dad's idea. He wanted us in the house. So we went back.
Hello.
Hi.
You all alone?
Yes. Ted's tied up. I thought I'd come up here for some lunch.
Would you like me to join you for a minute?
Of course.
So, how are you doing this? Please, go ahead.
No, please.
Well, I was just wondering how you're doing in school.
I'm taking a few courses.
Well, a few courses certainly should be more than enough.
Well, it's not the workload, actually. It's just that I want time for my therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have reservations about my therapy, but I thought perhaps that might change now that Ted has seen Sharon himself.
What's that?
Gina!
Oh, Alex, I was getting worried about you.
I'm sorry I'm late. I must confess there is some truth
to the old cliche about the absent-minded scientist. But time just flew away with me. I'm sorry. Did you order yourself a drink yet?
No, I never drink before 5.
Oh.
Actually, I was just doing a little reading.
May I?
Well, of course.
Thank you. That's... Oh, Science 87. Did you really find this interesting?
Fascinating. You know, I was reading this article on plankton, and the time just flew by.
Oh, yes, they are really interesting little organisms. Tell me a little something about the man you work for. I understand that he's a very shrewd attorney.
Don't kid yourself. Keith Timmons is... No, he's not a very trustworthy individual. Actually, there have been a lot of questions about the integrity of his office since he took over, but... Oh, let's not talk about him. I'd much rather hear about what you're working on.
Are you really all that interested?
Absolutely. I mean, well, wasn't your wife interested? I mean, in this day and age, I mean, or isn't she?
See, are you asking about my work or about my marital status?
Was I prying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be. But, well, of course I'm interested.
Well, I can safely admit that I was married once, but the marriage, such as it was, ended a long time ago.
Really? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how painful divorces can be. Shall we order?
Yeah.
Hi. What are you doing here?
Well, we came back for the day. You finished the experiment. I didn't finish my lecture.
Really? Well, that's mighty conscientious of you.
I do have a sense of responsibility, Jeffrey. And I didn't want to leave you hanging knowing how expensive it is to hire someone new.
Ah, well, your concern for the overhead is impressive. I'll just get out of your way, then. I know you can't wait to get to it.
That's right. I intend to make up for lost time today.
Well, have fun.
Dr. Nicholas is that? No, he's not. May I take a message? That's his pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I have it. And a number? Okay, I'll make sure he gets it as soon as I can. Mm-hmm. Delta?
Just wait a minute now. I don't like the conclusions you're drawing from this. I mean, you're making it sound like I'm under my father's thumb or something.
And you're not?
No, I am not. That's like Mason. Now, I am not like that at all. I make up my own mind about things.
Okay, well, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you see your brother's relationship with your father?
I see it as hopeless. My dad's always been able to get Mason to do anything he wants to. I mean, he likes to pretend that he's independent, but he's tied to my dad for life. In fact, Mason has gone through some pretty terrible times, and he keeps coming back for more.
Well, your father is obviously a very strong-willed man.
Yeah, you could say that again.
But, you know, I think that, like Mason, you also want to please your father.
Yeah, but that's not why I went back, though.
Ted, you told me that neither you or Haley wanted to make the move, and that neither one of you is happy living there. So I'm not sure what you're doing there now. Now, I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just trying to help you get a clearer view of your own motivations.
You know, you're right. As much as I hate to think this, I'm not so different from Mason after all.
No, I didn't know that Ted was taking counseling.
Well, gee, I hope I didn't let the cat out of the bag. I'm sure he'll discuss it with you.
Yes, Ellie, I'm sure he will.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to be going.
Get the check?
No. Thank you.
Haley, listen to me a minute. Sophia and I, we hope that you and Ted can put things behind you. pull everything together and come back to the house the way it was before.
Thank you. I hope Ted and I can get things together, too. But whether we can make your home ours, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Bye.
Bye.
Of course I put him Linus falling. I mean, he's the one that got me started taking vitamin C. You actually know him?
Even before he became popular, yes.
It's fascinating.
Mrs. Capwell, Mr. Timmons just called and said he needs you back in the office right away.
Oh, did you tell him I'm in the middle of lunch? He can't mean right now.
He seems to know that, but apparently there's some kind of an emergency. He asked me to express his apologies.
It's all right. I'm often finding myself in the midst of many crises. Go ahead, I understand.
Oh, we were having such a lovely conversation. I hate to break it up.
Well, we can finish it another time. Perhaps this evening over dinner, if you're free.
This evening? Well, yes, I suppose I'm free.
Wonderful. About 7?
7 would be fine.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I guess I'll see you then.
And we'll pick up exactly where we left off.
Are you in the mood for a little company?
Alex, hello, hello. Of course, please sit down. I'm surprised you can tear yourself away from your lab enough to venture out into the real world.
I think they're better off without me today. Besides, I have a tendency to get in the way of my own work. Incidentally, I just had an interesting lunch with your ex-wife.
Yes, I know I saw you with Gina. Kind of surprised me.
Oh? Does my seeing her create problems for you?
Me? No, Alex, not at all, but I think they may create problems for you you could never have dreamed of.
Oh, I'm meeting her for dinner. I haven't planned on much beyond that.
Well, why don't you take it from the bottom of my heart and avoid her like the plague? She's probably one of the most devious, despicable, treacherous women I've ever had the misfortune to meet. And I have a feeling that you will not get along with her too well.
Well, I understand women of her stripe completely. I'm sure I can handle her.
Is there any particular reason why you're staring at me? I'm doing this the way I was told to.
Oh, no, you're doing fine.
Then why are you watching me? You know, it's making me nervous, Jeffrey.
That must be a guilty conscience. I'm just making periodic checks to see how long you're going to keep up this charade.
As long as it takes, I guess.
Well, then you admit it's all a lot of foolishness?
No, Jeffrey, I don't admit anything of the kind.
Oh, come on, be straight with me. Now, why? Why are you really here,
What do you want me to say? That I'm here because of you? I did that once, but not this time.
You're still not telling me the truth. Now, I know you're not interested in any of these experiments.
Then
here.
why am I here? Why do you think I'm here?
To watch. To find out everything you can about what we're doing here, to satisfy that insatiable curiosity of yours.
Well, believe what you like. You know, you will anyway.
Look, I know it's partly my fault for making you think that there was anything more between us than just a momentary attraction.
Was that what it was? Oh, well, I didn't realize.
Oh, come on. You're a beautiful girl. I imagine there must have been any amount of men falling for those blue eyes and the blonde hair. Now, they can't all have mattered to you. Probably no more than I do. You know, in a few weeks, you can just file me away with the rest of the names in your inactive file.
Has Alice told you what she's planning to do as far as this move to Chicago goes?
Yes. And I know you're probably upset by her decision to come with me.
I felt I was just starting to get closer to her. Finally, my daughter was going to forgive me and care for me, and now you're taking her away? I just can't bear the thought of it happening like this, not so soon.
Caroline, I just don't know what else we can do. She's determined to come to Chicago with me. Believe it or not, I tried to talk her out of it.
Think what this means for her.
Well, listen, Vic. Last I heard, they have colleges in Chicago. Some pretty good ones, too.
She was all set at USB. This is the worst possible timing I've ever heard of.
Then you're gonna like the next thing I have to tell you even less.
What now?
Well, it looks like the departure is gonna be a bit sooner than I thought. Like tonight.
Tonight? When did you decide that?
Look, believe it or not, I called the people to tell them no. I didn't want to spoil things for Alice either. But they upped the ante on me. They offered me a salary I just couldn't turn down, Caroline. These people are going to be paying me big money. I'll be able to really do things for Alice. Catch is, I have to start work on Monday. Caroline, I'm sorry. But we'll keep in close touch, and you can come see her whenever you want to.
No. No, it's not good enough.
Well, what do you mean? How do you want to arrange it?
The only way I can. I'm going to have to move to Chicago, too.
Ah, you are home. Dr. Haley?
Yeah, well, I ran into her earlier. Why?
Oh, that's interesting. So did I. At the Orient Express. She was alone. We had a little talk. Told me you were tied up with something.
That's right, I was.
She said you were having a meeting with her rape counselor. What's her face? Is that true?
That's right, Dad. In fact, I've been seeing her for a while now.
There's something really don't understand. I thought you and I agreed that we should keep this whole thing within the context of the family.
Well, Dad, that's what I thought at first.
Well, why not? What happened?
It just doesn't seem like it's possible.
Why not?
Because there are a lot of problems in this family right now. And I feel like a lot of mine right now are because of you.
Well, that is a nice thing for a son to say. What are these problems that we have? I really like to know. I would really like to have your version of it. What are the problems?
Okay. We talked about this today. It's kind of a side issue. I'm starting to fall into a pattern here.
You're starting to fall into a pattern? Is that what this Sharon person, she's blaming me for this whole pattern? All of a sudden you always blame the parent. That's wonderful. Why not? Why should things ever change? You blame the parent.
Yeah, just take it easy. Look,
no, it's all right. Hey, if you want to have somebody blame for the problems, for the insecurities you have, go ahead. Blame the father. Tell me something. Did she talk to you about Mason, too?
Yeah, actually we did. And, Dad, I know it sounds kind of strange, but I'm starting to realize that I've got a lot more in common with Mason than I thought.
Good. She made you realize that, too. That's one. I got a surprise for you. I'm going to go down and see this Madame Freud. I'm going to make her see a few things.
Oh, hey, no need to scream. It's just your friendly neighborhood district attorney here.
What are you doing in my bathroom?
Well, sweetheart, you didn't finish your work here. And, I got a letter to dictate. I don't mind unofficial surroundings, thank goodness, here. It's one of the letter taken. It's about Swanson Callahan. Case number 32, I think it is. Yeah.
Wait.
Ready?
No, I don't work during pleasure hours, and I don't take dictation in the bathtub when I'm soaking wet.
I don't mind if it's waterlogged. Here, listen, I need you to take this letter. Okay. Now, regarding the above-captioned meeting, I think it should take place on, let's say, what do you think, April the 12th? Yeah, say April the 12th. What? Bad syntax?
No.
What?
Look, my toe's stuck. It's stuck in there. It won't come out. Ow! Ow!
Kelly.
Hi. Hi, listen, I just came back to finish up what I started. I told Jeffrey I just didn't think it was fair just to leave you in the lurch like that.
That's very considerate. Thank you. You know, you're such a good worker. I'm only sorry that you're not here all the time.
Well, so am I, in a way. Oh, listen, you got a call while you were out. 3, actually, from Delta Pharmaceuticals. They said you had the number.
I see. Is there anything else?
No, just that.
All right, I'll get back to them. And meantime, I would really appreciate it if you didn't tell anyone else about their call. It's kind of a very private matter.
All right, I won't tell you.
Good. Thank you.
So, same time Friday, Haley?
Fine.
Is this helping?
Yeah. I mean, put it into words helps. I just wish things didn't seem so uncertain, you know, the future. Not Terry?
Just a sec, excuse me. Yes?
My name is Capwell. Sisi Capwell. May I have a moment of your...
Sisi.
Ellie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you were alone.
We're done. We're finished.
Yeah, I'll see you next Friday then.
Friday. Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Ellie.
Excuse me. Well, what a surprise, Mr. Capwell. Pleasure to see you in person. What can I do for you?
I understand you've been counseling my son.
Yeah, but now if your intent is to find out what we've been discussing, I have to tell you that what goes on in this office is privileged. But it's very nice to meet you.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you thought I'd come in here breathing fire and brimstone. Well, I am not too pleased at what I've been hearing at all.
About me?
No, in general, Miss Knowles, in general.
Ah, and what would that be about?
In your profession, do you always encourage family members to turn against each other? Is that the training that you've been given?
I don't think...
Don't interrupt me. And let me tell you something. I don't know what you've heard about me, what your opinion is about me. But my family means more to me than anything else in the world. I am devoted to them and to their welfare. They are the center of my universe. The people I live for and the people I die for.
That's a very commendable attitude, Mr. Capwell.
And I could have helped them at home.
Mr. Capwell, wait, just a second, will you please? You know, you seem to hold this view that mental or emotional trauma is something shameful, something that needs to be hidden.
I never said anything like
Well,
that.
no one ever says so in so many words. Let me ask you a question.
Be my guest.
If someone you loved was injured physically, let's say a broken leg, a bullet wound, you would not think twice about sending them to a medical doctor, would you?
What is your point?
My point is that the mind and the heart are just as vulnerable and just as in need of treatment when they are wounded. And even though you can't see it, people can bleed psychologically, too.
Gina?
Finished?
I was just going. I'm sorry, I just can't leave it like this. Now, Jeffrey, I don't care what you say. I just cannot believe that you really want me out of your life. I mean, I don't care how much you hate my family or how angry it makes me feel. We have deeper feelings for each other that supersede all of that. At least on my part. No. But you cannot convince me that you don't have any feelings for me, no matter how many times you say it. Well, say something.
How many times?
Jeffrey!
Look, if what I say doesn't make any impression on you, there's no point in my talking at all, is there?
Will you stop trying to be logical with me? I am being honest with you.
Kelly, you must think what you want.
I don't want to think what I want to. I want to know the truth about how you feel.
All right. All right, what I'll tell you is this. All the things in those letters to Mason, the threats, the hatred that was expressed. I might not have written it. Sometimes I wish I had. I tell you, I felt all of those things. And more.
Well, here we are. Packed.
I can't believe it has to happen so quickly.
We just don't have much choice. There's an 8 o'clock bus to catch. Alice told me that the two of you work things out. I'm glad to hear that, Caroline. I'm real glad.
Yes, so am I.
Take care of yourself.
And you, drop me a line or call me when you get located.
I will. Don't. Alice is outside trying to get us a cab. I'll go get her and send her. The two of you will have a couple of minutes to say goodbye. Alice?
Couple of minutes. How much time is it?
No.
I still think I should go in with you.
It's better this way for all of us.
Now, you see how grown up you are, and you're telling me what's best for us. I guess you're right. My traipsing along wouldn't do much more than slow you down, would it? And I miss you so much.
Bye, Mom.
Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
Dad, you actually went to see Sharon.
That's right. I did. What'd you do? Think I was bluffing?
Well, I hope so. What happened?
Nothing. We had a little conversation, that's all, and we talked.
Wait a minute. You had a professional talk with Sharon?
No, we didn't have a professional talk. We had a personal talk. Actually, it's kind of interesting.
Really? What did she say?
That would be classified as privileged information. Oh, let's go back to you. Tell me something. Do you intend to go back to work?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was thinking about that today. I think I'll probably start tomorrow.
That's terrific, because idleness is not good for anybody. And I have got something else to say to you.
I figured there would be.
Don't anticipate me. All I wanted to say was you made some good moves. And, I'm very proud of you.
This is not going to work. You ready?
I think so.
All right, you're going to have to relax completely, Gina. This isn't going to work. Listen to me. This thing is going to have to be blowtorched off. You know, honey, I bet you're going to have to lose this toe. Do they make wooden pegs to stick in there? I love the thought of that. You stumping around. We can call you Pegfoot Capwell.
Just get out of here. Get lost. You know
we have to concentrate completely. Oh, come on. This isn't going to work. I told it to Orville. I told it to Wilbur. The thing is never going to fly. And if it does, it'll be the devil's tool.
Oh, thank heavens. Oh, that's wonderful. I thought I'd be wearing it the rest of my life. Oh, you are a genius.
Well, it's rather unremarkable surgery. But what I want to know is, how did you get your toe caught in here in the first place?
I bet you do.
So idiotic. I was playing with the little strips coming out of the sprocket of the water faucet, and my toe got stuck.
Yeah. Well, I happened to be walking along and heard a scream. I thought she was drowning. I went out to get a saw, and well, the rest, as they say, is history.
Keith, thank you so much. I really do appreciate everything you've done.
I'm good at emergencies, aren't I? Listen, I'll just tiptoe out of here. You can't do that, can you?
I'll see you.
See you in the office tomorrow?
Yeah, bright and early.
Hi, okay. See you, Alex. Good night. Good night.
I feel terrible. I mean, I didn't even have a chance to finish getting dressed for dinner.
No, I think you should stay off that toe. Let's cancel dinner, okay?
Look, about Keith. I just don't want you to think there's anything going on. He came over here on business, and my toe got caught, and in case you were wondering...
I'm not. I'm not worried at all.
Good.
I want you to stay off that toe. I'll call you tomorrow, and we'll set up something for dinner tomorrow night. How's that?
Thank you for being so patient with me.
Well, some people are worth all the patience it takes. Good night.
Good night, Alex.
You mean it, don't you? You really do feel all that fury.
I don't know why you sound so surprised.
I just didn't think it was possible. I mean, I never knew you were capable of feelings like that.
Oh, you'd be amazed at what people are capable of. I know I've been.
You know, it surprises me. After all the time we spent together, I never saw that side of you. I mean, I've seen your moodiness and your anger, but
I think you see what you want to see in people, Kelly. I'm sorry that I've disappointed you. Maybe now you'll finally see enough to stay away from me.
Yeah, I think I've finally gotten the message. There's no hope for us at all. You've made your point loud and clear.
Tonight, the subject of birth control.
Hello, Baltimore. This is Oprah. Join me tomorrow morning at 9, followed by Donahue at 10, here on Channel 2.